God, I missed that.
All right,
Hmm.
hello, welcome to Chopcast.
What are you talking?
Will, we're beginning. Shut up. Um, we apologize for the audio blips or whatever from last week, where I was the only one talking for 95% of it. But that's just usually how it goes, anyways. I guess. Not too much change. But yeah. Rockies series split 2-2. I yeah. Um, Sam, you have any opening comments?
Not really. I do think just kind of knee-jerk reaction to it. I think we should have swept them. I think in both of the games, let me kind of double check this. I'm pretty sure in both of the games we lost, we were leading at some point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we were up 2-1 in game two, and we were up 2-0 and 3-2 in game three. Obviously, Coors Field is pretty treacherous, kind of, pitcher's park, and the Rockies are obviously pretty good there. So I'll take a series split, and that's what, that's just kind of a baseball saying. You'll take a 2-2 split on the road. Um, but yeah, I am not bummed about it. I guess more of my concern is kind of the external factors, like the Phillies just going on an absolute tear and the Mets starting to, you know, rear their head. But yeah, those are kind of my opening thoughts. Will, you have anything to say? Or I guess you didn't really see the series, but anything in general? And
No, I'm sorry, I don't. Um, no, not too much, Dad. I mean, we talked about it recently, but I mean, the Rockies are entirely different at home.
Yeah.
Um, so I wouldn't be entirely disappointed. Like, I mean, they've swept the Dodgers and Padres there before, in like 4 game sweeps. I mean, that's pretty impressive for any team to sweep 4 games, let alone those two.
Yeah.
Um, could have been a lot worse, but I can
yep,
understand being greedy too.
Yeah. I like even after that happened. I mean, I guess I can understand a little bit, but like Sam said, I feel like we could have easily won all of those games. Um, like game four was a very clear cut victory from the beginning.
yep,
Um, and that was the only one that wasn't like super contested. First one was very surprising that we won. Who started that game?
I yeah,
Oh,
just to butt in on that, I think it's odd because the first game I felt like we should have lost, whereas the second and third I felt like we should have won. So whole series is kind of odd. I don't know, but
yeah. Uh,
yeah,
but just starting off with game one, that was the we won, which I was not anticipating because of the Tukey implosion.
mm,
Really had to open up our bullpen, and yeah, I didn't get to see the first couple innings of that game. But when I went back and looked at the highlights, like, or that's when we were recording um, for the Dodgers series.
yeah,
And when I opened it up, like it was the first thing that I saw was Tukey giving up a grand slam, pretty much, which Charlie Blackmon destroyed us this
yeah,
series. Um,
it was unreal.
but yeah, so which my assumption was just like, oh, Tukey did the thing where he doesn't attack and then he gets like behind in the count and then he just serves up meatballs and then gets destroyed. Um, but I mean, only he gave up 4 earned runs, only went 3 innings, and he only pitched 46 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
But I think starting that third inning, he was only at 21. So yeah, he had a 25 pitch inning that he got pulled out of. Or I guess he did end up finishing, but 0 Ks. Um, it all started with, so it was like a 2 out. He had a runner on first. He had 2 outs. Or no, he had 1 out, runner on first. He got a comebacker that he got easily, and then
Mm-hmm.
threw a wild like throw to Dansby, and then it just went off the rails from there, and couldn't get anything.
Yeah, I think Tukey, he just like once he gets shaken up, he doesn't really bounce back. Unfortunately, I feel like we've seen this a few times in the season. If he can pitch lights out, like he can stay on track, but the second there's a wild pitch or a pass ball or anything like that, it seems like he kind of gets rattled. Granted, Tukey is obviously a little younger. He's been in AAA for most of the season, and he kind of got thrown into a starter role. I think we should have him more in the bullpen. But yeah, it was. I don't know. I like Tukey, but that was a pretty brutal start. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. But I don't really know what you do after 3 and you take your starter out. Because like you don't want to use everybody good from the bullpen. We were only down 2 runs at that point after that inning was over, but yeah, the minute I saw Jacob Webb come in, I was like, okay, yeah, we just gave up on the game. But that's the best he's pitched all year.
Yes, what it was like a 7-pitch inning. I'm pretty sure the first inning he was in.
I don't remember, but
I could have that messed up, but
well, I mean his stat line is 2 innings, 1 hit, 2 Ks, 26 pitches. Inexplicably, his ERA is a 3.91. I don't know how that works. I mean, I guess how they normally calculate an ERA, but I don't,
Yeah, there's an asterisk for Jacob Webb that they.
It's like we fucked up.
One or
we fucked up the system.
Yeah.
He's.
I don't know. That's promising.
Yeah. That was one of the main takeaways I had from this series. Like he pitched. That's all I remember him pitching. He pitched game 3 and he had 1 inning, 12 pitches, 2 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
So that Yep. I don't really like to hate people on our team. I would like to see him do well. I hope that he's not just teasing us right now. But I mean, especially going into Coors, having 3 innings pitched in 4 games, 4 Ks, 2 hits, pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, even with the Rockies, like.
I mean, the like we already talked about, the Rockies at home are like a whole different beast.
It's a whole. I'm pretty sure they have the best at-home record in the MLB. They're like 42-20 something.
I think it's like 3rd or
it's
something.
It's up
there. Help me up.
But I mean, Trevor Story at home this year has been like typical Trevor Story. So you have him, and then Charlie Blackmon has been incredibly hot there. They're rookies who I have never heard of before. Connor Joe and Brendan Rodgers both did really well. Mm-hmm. And then C.J. Cron was the NL Player of the Month, which is so weird. And then even Raimel Tapia, I feel like he's been super underrated. He's sitting at
he's fast. That's what I noticed.
Yeah,
he really impressed me. I think it was that first game especially. Where was the first game the one where he got the triple, or was that a different one?
I don't remember which game it was, but
it might have been game 2, but yeah, he was flying around the bases.
Yeah.
They got a lot of they got a bright future, which is good.
I looked so like at the beginning of the year, I was looking at some. Have y'all seen Giraffe Neck Mark on YouTube before?
Have not.
Okay, well, I used to watch him a bunch because he just talk about baseball and he'd just do all these ranking videos. I don't like watching him anymore because he's fucking annoying to me. But he like.
Oh wait, is that the Mets guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he just.
I think I watched him once or twice.
He's the type. I mean, like you get views doing this and whatever, but it's just like here's a barrel. There's a barrel right here. He's like down at the bottom and he's just scraping whatever he can. He's like top 10 rankings of like left fielders or like from the NL, from the AL, like just like whoever, just as many rankings as he can do. Um,
Sure.
but and like
I'll give those views.
all of his YouTube thumbnails are like
Yeah.
it's like left
Just
fielder
absolute
rankings.
clickbait.
It's like
Hey, Griffin, I missed that. Could you? What do they
yeah,
look like?
yeah. It's just like it's like most surprising draft picks from this year's. Like he's
Oh
up to
my
the
God.
camera too. He's just like, it's just like I'm
Lord.
cynical. Anyways, but
Yeah.
he had Raimel Tapia as like one of the worst players, like for whatever fielding for whatever fielding category he had. He was just
Yeah.
like, and his commentary was like 3 seconds. He's like, "Yeah, he's just not a good player," and then like goes on to the next player, talks about him for like 2 freaking minutes or something. But I went and looked at him because I like hadn't heard him before. He's been with the Rockies for like 4 years and came through their system, and he's got a lifetime average of 285 and like
Yeah.
770 OPS. Like he's a
That's
good
pretty
player.
impressive. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but game one was not expecting to win that one. Uh,
Mhm.
as it played out, like up until the third inning, I was like, oh yeah, we got this because we got three, and then Tukey blew up. Um,
Yeah.
but
I
Swanson and
guess.
Duvall coming in clutch
Yeah.
again.
I guess this is also another example of the Braves post All-Star break as opposed to Braves pre All-Star break, where it feels like when I watch a Braves game, like we could go down by like 2 runs and I don't hit the panic button. Whereas I felt like in the first half of the season, it just like that was kind of the end of the game because
Yeah,
the bullpen was so bad and there was almost like no fight. But even today with the Nationals, like they went up 1-0 in the first inning and I didn't even flinch at it, to be honest. So I just think that's going to show that they've come a long way. Bullpen's looking better. I mean, even in that first game, like just statistically speaking, we go down 5-3 in the third inning, and then our bullpen just cleans it up. Like
yeah,
Jacob Webb, 1 hit, Jesse Chavez, 0, Richard Rodriguez, 0, Luke Jackson, 1 hit, Will Smith, 1 hit, no earned runs from any of them. We got ERAs 3.91, 2.74, 2.33, 2.10, 3.76. Like that's incredibly impressive, and it just shows. I think we got a lot more, you know, backing than we had before.
yeah.
So,
It's just been
yeah, and
like this was definitely a big win for the
yeah,
bullpen.
mhm,
Even though we split, a lot of that had to
mhm,
do with whatever starter was on the mound for each of
yeah,
these. Um, but yeah, there's 4 games and
yeah. Let's
only I think one or three. There's only 3 earned runs by the bullpen in 4 games.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Um, Chris Martin's in the DL right now, or he's on the IL, right?
Yeah, I think he had like soreness or something like that. He's kind of made of glass though, so it doesn't matter of time.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of those injuries. If it's like, especially if it's not for too long, I'm kind of happy about it because he was getting really bad,
Yeah,
which is really weird to see because he's been like our most consistent reliever for 2 years now.
he's just had like the weirdest like death by uh, like it's just been slowly downhill this entire season. Like he started up
Yeah,
here and it's just now we're here and I don't know how he got here, but it's just gotten there eventually.
yeah.
Uh,
Every time that he would come in at any point in the game, I'd be like, oh, I don't even like, I'm not nervous. I know he's just
yeah.
gonna shut him down. And now it's like he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, hopefully this uh, being on the 10-day IL will kind of he'll kind of figure out some stuff.
Yep,
Um,
I
but yeah,
agree.
that was game one was probably Will Smith's cleanest inning of work in a long time,
Mhm.
which
Even with
is saying a lot that it was like one pitch, one single. Um, but He
I
has
just
the
hate that. I hate this elephant in the room of Will Smith
oh
because
yeah,
it's gonna screw us in the postseason if we
oh
make it there.
yeah. I saw
It
like
will absolutely come back to us if we make it.
I was looking at some Instagram story of a Braves account, and it like this guy was just taking questions and whatever, and someone was like, under over 2 blown saves by Will Smith if we get to the postseason, and like 2 blown saves in the postseason is a lot, and the guy
Yeah,
was like, he was like over every single day. It's just like
yeah.
no one has confidence in this guy. This guy doesn't have confidence in himself. I don't even know like
Yeah, no, you're not wrong at all. Closing is so clearly a mental game, and when you don't have it, you don't have it. And I hate that. I have a lot of mixed opinions on Snicker, but one of the things I really dislike about him is he absolutely romanticizes the idea of having a closing pitcher. Like
mm,
he wants one person to be the closer, and he clearly is not like shying away from that.
yeah. Which I
So
mean, we talked about this last week. I think anyone would optimally want to have someone be their defined
yeah,
closer and like have that. But
yeah,
if
we're
they're
not
not producing, like
then try.
the worst part about this is like technically he is producing because he is at 30 saves now, which
Which is really really fucking good
yeah, like
on paper.
there's only been four. Right, he's the fourth Brave since 2000 to record 30 saves, and he's on the same list as John Smoltz and Craig Kimbrell. That's stupid.
Yeah,
That's-
it actually makes me so mad. That makes me so irrationally
yeah,
angry.
like Chip ended the first game saying like, "Oh, it's the 30-30 night because like Duvall hit his 30th home run, and then Will Smith got his 30th save." It's like that can't be real. There's no way.
I think you put him in for such a high volume of games that he's just naturally gonna hit that count. Uh, you know,
Yeah, it is.
I hate it though.
It's
I
inexplicable how he's only blown 4 saves. He doesn't
yeah
deserve that.
yeah.
I, but yeah, that was real clean. He gave up that one single. He only pitched 7.
I think it's
Um,
7. Yeah,
uh,
seven pitches, 5 strikes.
yeah, and he had I think it was a 3-pitch strikeout,
Mhm.
um, second, and then they got the double play. But yeah, Soler 2 for 5. Love him.
Absolute nuke in the first.
Oh yeah, it was opposite field too.
Yeah,
Four of
he
seven.
I was having a pretty long discussion on Soler with my brother the other day because I can't throw anything like positive Braves his way because he's
Mm-hmm.
so delusional Mets fan. He's like, dude, Soler, like, he's only batting like what is it, like 210, 213? Like
213.
Jack, like look at his second half of the season stats. Like
Yeah,
it's a very, very different story.
he's batting like 370 in the second half, which and
Exactly.
like him having a 213 still shows you how awful he was
How
in the
bad is the
first.
first
It's
half?
just so
Yeah.
bad, but him and I mean like so I guess so this was the first uh or did Eddie Rosario he started his first couple games with the Braves were in LA, right?
They were the I feel
I,
like
I think they were I think he started in
might
LA.
have been I feel like it might have been before LA. Let me look at that.
I don't know. Well, regardless, oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, there we go. I'm watching the Nationals game.
I turned it off. I get too distracted.
Yeah. Regardless, he's yet to be seen, but
Mm,
I like. We already talked about this, but that is just so smart what Anthopoulos did with Soler and Rosario.
mm.
Um, I don't know if it's just like Braves fans or people really do dislike Anthopoulos or whatever, or if it's just like typical MLB hating on their GM or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I've never been that upset with a lot of the things that he's done or hasn't done.
Yeah.
I think things that he doesn't do that I get upset about are like letting Mark Melanson walk and Duvall walk and stuff like that. And I don't really think that has much to do with him. I think that has to do a lot more with our incredibly cheap owners in Liberty Media.
Media. Yeah.
But yeah, Soler for our 26th prospect, Rosario for Panda, who they instantly cut. Like, and we got a 2-hole hitter on a team with 2 MVP candidates, and for nothing is just incredible.
Literally for nothing. And Duvall for Alex Jackson.
Yeah, it's just we gave and then like Richard Rodriguez. That was the biggest thing we gave up was Bryce Wilson, and he is butthole.
Yeah, Bryce Wilson was one of those guys that I really wanted to like. Like I really, really wanted to like him, especially after that. I think it was Game 4 of the NLCS where he just fucking mowed down the Dodgers like it wasn't even close. I think that was him versus Kershaw, and he just like absolutely took it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I never trusted him on the mound after his first few starts this season.
No, he's not good.
Yeah.
He only got like 3 strikeouts in NLCS Game 4 too, and a lot of it I feel like was just the Dodgers kind of not doing what they needed to do.
Not doing what they needed to do.
So
exactly.
They just put up this graphic on the Braves game. Soler has an 893 OPS in 33 games with the Braves, and Duvall has an 841 OPS in 34 games.
Well, you like to see.
But yeah, at the end of this series, I don't know if it's still true now, but Adam Duvall is leading the NL in RBIs, which is insane.
It's so casual too, because I feel like he also kind of blends in with the rest. Like I saw this graphic the other day that every one of our infielders has 25 plus home runs. Like that's insane. And then we also have Duvall, who's just absolutely raking. Soler.
I'm pretty sure that's a record about the infield.
Yeah.
It's the first. So it's only happened one time where all the infielders have 25 plus home runs, and that was the 2008 Marlins, back when Dan Uggla didn't just hit foul balls and strike out.
Oh, that is a flashback. Holy shit.
But it's never 30 home runs by each player. Hasn't ever been done before. And right now we're sitting at Ozzy and Swanson both have 26, and Freddie's got 28, and Riley's got 29. So
yeah, there's a chance.
Yeah, very close.
Good chance, honestly.
Yeah, we got like 23, 27. I don't know why I used either one of those numbers, but between somewhere around those, there's 20s amount of games left.
Yeah, we got 24.
Gotcha.
Including yeah. So take that.
Well, let's just run through the rest of this. Oh,
what happened?
Freddie's got it double.
Nice. Freddie Wheels Freeman.
Freddie Hot Wheels.
Freddie Hot Wheels. Yeah, that's game 2, I guess. This is the leadoff one, right? Leadoff home run.
Yeah.
First pitch. Where they debuted their pitcher.
No. That was game 4.
That was game.
Yeah, but Ozzy also had a leadoff home run on this one.
Good for him.
This game was just like a drag the whole time. And it's so frustrating. Like I can't imagine. I feel like Inoa has a really good mindset. Like he's very confident when he goes out there. And I'm not worried about him. Like and I think he did well. Like I think he's done well each of the last times he's come out. He's only given up 2, 3, and 4 runs in his last 3 starts. But he's lost all of those. And not even like just didn't qualify or was taken off the hook or whatever. Like straight up lost each of those, which sucks because he's not pitching awfully right now. He's got a 3.19. He had 5 Ks, 5.2 innings. Like his hit count has been very low each time. Like I think against the Yankees it was like 3, and against the Dodgers I think it was 4, and then this game it was 5.
Mhm.
Um, so he's just the home run ball is getting to him, and then we don't give him enough run support. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
but I will
Well, yeah.
say, like the guy that we faced this game, Senzatella, when he's been good, he's been like lights out. Like he
Mhm.
flirted with a couple no hitters this year. Um, I think each time he's played the Dodgers, they haven't gotten more than like one off of him. And he's just like a number of the other Rockies players. When he's at Coors, he's just ridiculous.
He's a different player.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
but I mean,
I
we
mean,
still got 3 off of him, so that should have been able to put him away. But we just his
kind of fell off at the end there.
yeah, and his pitch count was incredibly low.
Yeah. What did he get it to?
80.
83 or
Yeah.
7. Jesus. I
Um,
probably got him in there,
but
but
this was the game though that again replay review has stolen games from us,
Hmm.
because we had 2 bad calls, which I mean they can be considered contested and whatever. But it was the Austin Riley slide into second in like the
yeah, I
7th
was
inning, and
I
then
was after. I think he scored an RBI on that one, right? It was 6th inning.
I don't remember. All right, yeah, that was it.
No, yeah, Freddie scored, and then he was out at second. That stretch.
Um, and then the 8th inning where Rosario got called out on a like very clearly safe. Um, it just
New
like
York.
hmm.
I was just saying, New York replay review hates
Yeah,
us.
it just I haven't seen a replay review for like just at all overturn a call in a while. Um, it's like you're just wasting like 10 minutes of time to
Yeah.
to do nothing.
Yeah, I've seen multiple instances where like the announcers will say, "Okay, yeah, obviously this is going to get overturned," like clearly insinuating what we all see, what we all know. I think there was a Phillies game the other day. I think it might have been against the Dodgers actually, where their first baseman clearly was not on the bag. Like his foot was off the bag. I guess it must have been Gene Segura threw it to him. Ball took him off the bag. There's a clear inch between his foot and the bag, and they kept it as an out. Uh, I will say, looking back at the replay, it was kind of hard to discern because you kind of get into that gray area of like when the ball's like in the glove or when it hits the back of the glove. And you could argue that it was technically in his glove while his foot was on the bag, but it was clear like at the pop of because first base umpire essentially told to look at the bag and wait to hear the pop from the first baseman. Clearly, when the pop happened, his foot was not on the bag. So I don't know. I think replay review is fucking stupid. If like I don't get the point of having it if you're not going to overturn shit. So and then obviously we see it twice in this
Yeah, and they keep saying it has to be like indisputable,
game.
and I guess, but it's just like when something is like 99.9% sure, and it's like there is a very small fraction of a doubt that it
Mm-hmm.
couldn't be this way, and it's just like in my head, you're getting a much less accurate call by human umps in the first place. Um,
Yeah.
so like, there's never, even if you don't have replay review or you have a play that could be considered contested but it isn't reviewed at all, um, like there's going to be some shadow of a doubt that that call was wrong by
Mm-hmm.
either side. Um, and when these things exist, uh, just call. Sorry.
What happened? Don't tell me. What?
we got one. We got one.
Okay.
Um,
Wait. I'll flip it back on.
But
I'll,
it just seems like if it's more than certain that the call should be overturned, or it's like more than likely that this call is incorrect, I feel like that should be enough, as
yeah.
opposed to like absolute undeniable evidence. Um, I don't know,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, I get it. I mean, you're preaching the choir. I'm sure everyone kind of feels the same way. Any other notes from game two? I felt like it was just kind of like a baseball game that we happened to lose, and other than that, it is what
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
game three.
Game three was another tough one.
Mm.
Um, that was Ian Anderson's a little concerning right now. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that was his first. So for him and Huascar Noah, that was both of their first times pitching at Coors.
Mm.
Um, so I guess they have a little leeway there, but Anderson only goes 3 innings, and something that somebody noted from his last game too. I think he also didn't have any strikeouts. He went 5 innings. That's fairly concerning.
Yeah, Ian, he did 3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 batters walked, 62 pitches, 33 strikes,
Yeah,
0 strikeouts. Yeah.
yeah. So only about half of his pitches were strikes too.
Mm. Which is obviously bad.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, this game sucked. Like, especially I hate the games where we go up in the first inning and then it just kind of like never we don't take that and run with it.
yeah. I kind of like you were saying about the first half of this season versus second half, that being down runs and whatever. I also have the same assumption. Like whenever we go up first, I'm like we are more than likely going to win this game. That's
Mm,
just not how it worked out in this game, except for game four.
yeah, yeah. Um, Ozzy got a home run. He's pretty sure he homered in 3 straight to finish out the series, which is unreal. He's been looking good. Yeah, Charlie Blackmon did damage to us.
Mm.
AJ Minter fucking sucks. That's
Minter's
another.
Minter's come back and been good, but I think
This was rough. I
gave up
mean,
a home run.
third of an inning pitched, 2 earned runs, 1 hit, 9 pitches.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's
we
not
lost by
good.
what?
Yeah, and then
Sean Newcomb.
Drew Smiley pitched at the end. I
Yeah, I
guess.
saw that. I'm glad. I guess I'm glad we're kind of recognizing where he should be.
Yeah, but
Which
I
is
just
we pay him so much fucking money, and then he's pitching relief. That's just stupid.
well,
But
I mean,
that's just
we're
something you got to
paying Will
swallow.
Smith way more money than we're paying him, so
I'm pretty sure Will Smith is 13 million. What's Drew Smiley? Wasn't he
he's
like 12,
he's 11.
11?
In
Yeah.
terms of the value that Drew's given us this year, I think it's been more than Will Smith, though.
Yeah, I mean, and Drew Smiley, like, he had a few, I mean, he had a handful of rough outings, but bottom line is he's the type of pitcher that's going to give up 3 or 4 runs. And if we can deal with that and have good offense on daisy pitches, he can go 5 or 6.
Mm.
And it all, what, let's, yeah, he had, yeah, 11 million. Him and Will Smith were both relatively small sample size giants that we signed to $10+ million contracts. So I guess they're
Yeah, the Will Smith. I mean, he had been more of an established
yeah, that's
closer
fair.
for a career.
Yeah,
Smiley has always been more of a bullpen guy coming
yeah.
in, and then he kind of started for the Phillies and the Rangers one year and did okay, and then went on to the Giants team.
Mm,
Um, that was Anthopoulos doesn't do many like um, kind of like analytical signings or whatever, but that was a purely just like they liked his analytics,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
he looked like he had value. Which I mean, most of his value comes from his curveball, and his curveball has done pretty well this year. It's just
Yeah.
his fastball location and he, I mean, doesn't have very much speed. Um,
Yeah.
but the thing I was just thinking though, like, yeah, we did put Smiley in the ninth, and I guess it was uh, a one-run game then.
Mm-hmm.
But we did the same thing with Tukey just a week ago, where we put him in the ninth in the cleanup
Yeah.
just of the blowout Giants game. Um, I feel like they seem to be kind of interchangeable, and it looks
Mm-hmm.
like Snicker doesn't really know exactly what he wants to do with either of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems kind of like a running back by committee right now, just ride the hot hand, but also that can get convoluted when they're both so like inconsistent. I just want Soroka back, man. Like I just miss
Yeah.
Mike Soroka so much.
Well, I mean, and we only got 24 games left. They're
Yeah.
going to be high intensity and whatever, but they're neither of them are going to be pitching like
Mm,
even be considered as starters for very much longer.
yeah.
Um,
Is kind of side note, is Tucker Davidson still injured
yeah,
or
he's on the 60-day IL.
he's on 60? Okay, that's what I thought. And then Kyle Muller, I guess, kind of needed a little more time to develop, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
he's a beast.
um, bullpen did all right with the people that
Mhm.
like Jacob Webb. Another clean inning. So did Santana. AJ Minter did not. Chavez clean. Newcomb, that guy's gonna be gone next year.
He's had a fall from grace.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
he used to be like a semi-reliable starter, and
yeah, he almost threw
five.
a no hitter in 2018. He's literally a strike away.
Yeah, um, yeah, 5.81 ERA, 22 pitches, 14 strikes, 2 strikeouts. It's an anomaly his inning because he had 2 strikeouts, but an earned run, 22 pitches. Um, I don't know. I guess if you give up a triple though, that's just gonna happen.
I mean, I would
But yeah.
love for him to have value because he's massive and he can
Mhm.
like pump 100 in, but he just
Mhm.
walks people.
Mhm.
Like he had 2 strikeouts, but
Mhm.
one walk and then
And then a
home run.
triple. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, the game was a little disappointing. Um. Game four was very satisfying.
Oh yeah. One of
It,
those you just kick back. And you're like, I'll take this.
yeah. Charlie Morton dealing. Um. And Rich Rod and Edgar Santana had clean innings.
Mhm.
Um. Yeah. This was if we I'm glad that we won the last game at least if we were going to split, just to get a little momentum going. Because losing those 2 games in the middle was pretty, and with the Phillies winning and the Mets winning,
Yeah.
it's a little scary.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I guess we'll talk about this a little later, but the Phillies are a game and a half back, um, as opposed to just a week ago when they're 5 back.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
But also considered, obviously Charlie killed it. I mean, I guess we could also maybe talk about the extension right now. One obviously Braves country knows 1 year, $20 million extension. Semi questionable because he's going into his 38th year of life. But uh, I saw some people on Twitter that are like, this man's about to be 38. Like he's saying fuck that to fatherhood. He just wants to play. Um,
Yeah. I was thinking about that. Like, people were talking about if we extend him and whatever. And I was just like, there's no way. He's decrepit.
Yeah.
Like,
And honestly, I guess pitcher is one of those. It's one of the weirdest positions in sports because you could be like super old and good. You could be super fat and good. Like you
Bartolo.
can kind of as long as you're just like kind of big and can throw downhill.
Yeah.
Sometimes quite literally, but Yeah, Charlie. I think it's well deserved. I'll say it. I am a little nervous about the age thing, but if he's pitching this well at 37, he's been. I think at this point, undeniably the best part of our rotation this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. I think that's everybody's main concern. Like a lot of people were saying, "Ooh, oh, okay." Let's turn to double play. I was looking at comments and stuff on the Instagram post, and um, everybody's saying it was definitely worth it. Which, like, I definitely agree. My gut reaction was like, it definitely for his age
Mhm.
and like career production. I think it's a little overpay. Um, but you also think about somebody like Wainwright or Justin Verlander, Clayton
Mhm.
Kershaw, or mainly Wainwright and Verlander, but they have just appeared to like only get better with age. And like
Yeah,
Nelson Cruz, that's a
fine
key
line.
position. Yeah. Because like I mean, Charlie at the beginning of his career was awful. Like
Yeah,
we
he
gave him to
started
the
on the Braves
Pirates.
way back. In the day.
Hmm.
I said he started on the Braves way back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he really only started being really good like 5 years ago with the
Mhm.
Astros.
Yeah,
Um,
he was on the Astros team too, which kind of feels dirty, but
yeah.
I guess that's more so on the hitters than the pitchers.
Yeah. Still to
But
try to shove that down in my head.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
I don't. I don't
but overall, I like it.
Mhm.
It would suck if he was only just like that's my main concern is like I think he's gonna still have value and I think he's still gonna do like good enough, but like I
Mhm.
don't know if he's gonna be the same like shutdown pitcher that we have this year. Um, and we're
Mhm.
paying 5 million more for him this year or next
Yeah,
year. Um,
yeah. I mean, I think that's super valid. Like, I right off the bat, signing a 38-year-old for that much money is a questionable decision. However, I think he should keep it up, but there is always the chance that there is a drop off.
yeah.
But Mhm.
Um, well, since we're at like the 40-minute mark, we'll just go ahead and jump in. Will,
Mhm.
you wanna?
Hop back
Sorry,
in.
I've
Yeah.
been doing homework.
No.
I've
He's
Yeah.
been
been doing
doing.
homework at the same time.
Um, you wanna lead
Well,
us off on the Mets and the Phillies recently? What they've been doing?
Yeah, sure. So right now, I think Sam mentioned it earlier. Um, but they have at the Phillies, excuse me, have trimmed the lead. They are playing Milwaukee right now as we speak, and they're down 3-0. They won the first game in Milwaukee,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
12 to
sure.
nothing.
Last I checked. Yeah, it was. I think that was the biggest loss Milwaukee's had all year. Um, so if they can get out of there with 2 wins, I mean that's pretty scary. And in terms of the Mets, um, I'll be honest, I really haven't been following them all that much, mostly because I've personally written them off.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah,
they're tied right now with the Marlins.
Yeah.
good.
I'm more concerned about the Phils. So, yeah.
Yeah. I had been considering the Mets dead for like the past month, but it's just like since we just went through our tough stretch, um, and like they've won, excluding yesterday when they lost to the Nationals. Well, so they've won 7 out of their last 9, um, which is concerning.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think they'll be able to keep it up, but both the Mets and the Phillies do have an easier schedule than we do.
yeah. Come on, Max. There we go.
And apparently, so we talked about this a little last week, but um, first thing I'm looking at in the news for the Mets is like DeGrom's elbow perfectly intact, return unclear. I think if they get close enough, they might
I think
activate
you look
him.
good at him.
Yeah, which I think in the long run is so stupid and very reckless. You should try to get there with who you have, and then maybe if you get into a situation where you can push through the postseason, bring him out. But uh, he's been dealing with injuries so much this year. I think that would be a terrible idea. Um, but yeah, they are 3.5 back now.
He's 4.
4. Okay.
They're 4.
I still think that's pretty distant to where like you still don't have to take them seriously, but just keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think they're serious at all right now. If it was 2.5, like 5 days from now, then entirely different. But
yeah, I can't. I just can't imagine. Just with the way the Mets like are in general, I just can't imagine they're gonna make it like a push here.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the same thing about the Phillies though. Before this, they got swept at Arizona. And then they took 2 from the Padres. They lost both games to the Rays, and then when they lost the first game to the Diamondbacks at home, I was like, they're dead. They're officially dead. And then they had a 7-game win streak after that.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Like any team can go on a run. I hate the Phillies so much. Like, I honestly, this is just like kind of personal note. I think I might dislike the Phillies more than I dislike the Mets.
I agree with that.
They have no excuse to not win the NL East right now, and they have the worst fans like ever. I swear I've watched Phillies games where they are booing their players in the first inning and then cheering them on in the ninth when it gets closer. I mean, Philly's just also a shitty town, so that's besides the point. But like both the Braves and the Mets have every reason to lose the division this series with injuries and everything. Phillies have none.
Well, they've racked up some injuries lately. Like Rhys Hoskins has been out for the year for 2 weeks now, and then like Archie Bradley, who's like one of their only consistent-ish arms in the bullpen, is gone. But in terms of starters, for sure, like they've been
not
like Wheeler, Nola, Eflin was doing well at the beginning of the year, and now they have Kyle Gibson.
I will say some of their players are just so overrated.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just don't I don't think people think of him as highly anymore because he's been. Last I checked, he wasn't doing great this year, at least on defense. But Alec Boehm, I mean,
I'm pretty sure.
He's so bad.
He's so
I'm pretty sure they sent him to AAA.
Really?
He was considerably like their like worst defensive player, and he also just that name is such a bad that's like such a bad taste in Braves' mouths because of the like plate incident where he just clearly did not touch home.
Another good example.
Also, they have fucking what's his name? Center fielder Herrera.
Oh, Odubel.
Odubel Herrera.
Yeah.
He's an awful human being.
He was just a domestic abuser. Like,
yeah.
I know that's kind of like an MLB thing where like, oh, every team has one, but like, they play him actively, and he's a terrible human being. Yeah. So like, fuck.
He also he I haven't seen a player do this. At the very least, as much as him. He just like does bat flips on pop outs.
Yes, he did a like can of corn center field pop out and just flipped his bat. It was so fucking funny.
I can't imagine like any of his teammates like him. But then again, a lot of the rest of them suck. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty freaking bad when one of my favorite players on the Phillies, like not favorite. Like, I would say my favorite player on the Phillies is Didi. I like him.
Yeah.
But like one of my most tolerable players on the Phillies is Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper. Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Which I do think he's grown up since being in the Nationals some, but still.
It's akin to like Drew Brees on the Saints, where I have every reason to hate him. But like you kind of just like can't that much.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I like McCutchen. I think Kutch is a great guy. I like like Gene Segura too because he has like a fun relationship with Ronnie and Ozzy.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't fucking stand them. I cannot stand any of them.
No, I hate playing. Segura plays so well against the Braves. It's
Mm-hmm.
infuriating.
Yeah.
There was it was either Fried or Inoa who was pitching to him, and it was a curveball middle down, like it almost bounced on the plate, and he hit a home run.
Yeah, just golf it.
Yeah, it's like just 362, just like squeaking it over the fence. But yeah, I didn't know they'd sent Alec Boehm down. I mean, he's been garbage, and it's funny to watch him. I hate him.
He's awful.
He, and then just their team. You look at their lineup, and you're like, this is not. They don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Even in this lineup, 12-0 against the Brewers. You have Odubel, and then Segura, Harper, and Real Muto, and McCutcheon. Didi Gregorius has been awful
Who's
this
playing
year.
first base for him now?
Real Muto plays there sometimes now.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But Brad Miller, who when he gets hot, he just destroys.
Yeah, that guy's
baseballs.
frustrating.
You want to know who started at third base for the Phillies on this game?
Who's that?
Will, do you remember your favorite shortstop from the Reds ever?
Freddie Galvis.
Yeah, it's Freddie Galvis. He went 1 for 3 with an RBI.
They really don't deserve to make. They do not deserve to make the playoffs at all. If they're starting him, oh my god.
I will take a vow of silence until the Phillies get knocked out of the playoffs if they make it.
Gosh.
Like I don't know how I don't know how my body would react if the Phillies made the playoffs and the Braves did not.
I think if the Phillies somehow squeaked their way in the postseason and then just got hot for some reason, and if they somehow inexplicably win the World Series, I think I'm going to try to induce spontaneous human combustion on myself. Just burst into flames.
They have a realistic chance to get the wild card too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not out of the question.
Wild card is
I think
crazy
they're
right now.
2 games back, 2.5 games back. I mean, it's nothing. You can't rule that out.
Who's in the wild card carousel right now? It's the Padres, the Reds, and the Phillies. Is there anyone else in there?
And technically the Mets
Cardinals,
and technically the Cardinals.
I guess
Cardinals are falling down a little bit.
Yeah, they got they suck against the Pirates this year for some reason.
I don't understand. It's great though.
Who's in?
Max Fried.
What does a wild card look like right now? It's the Reds are down 1, Phillies down 2, Cardinals 3.5, Mets 4.5, and the Cubs are at 10. Had a 7-game win streak.
Go Cubs! Go Cubs! Go!
Will, how's the Cubs Red series made you feel so far?
I mean, it's only been 1 game. We've been in a bit of a cold stretch recently. I won't lie.
Y'all lost 7 out of your last 8, right?
I know 7. Yeah, it's been a bit tough. I will say we are missing Winker, so that changes everything.
I feel like it kind of holds together.
Yeah, well, like I love the team, but I'd be lying if I said we don't need the top 4. I mean, I would put the Reds' top 4 up against pretty much anyone. It goes India, then Winker, then Castellanos, then Votto.
Absolutely. I remember during the Brave Red series, like that was terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's awesome. It's an honor to have
that. Because what the thing is, one of them is almost definitely going to get down base, which means Votto has the chance to drive him home.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that like Joey Votto, Will Smith home run in the bottom of the. Or I think it might have been it was either the bottom of the 9th or where Chip was like swinging a drive, like tie ball, the tie ball game. Like it was just so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the the thing I've kept in the back of my head, and then I kind of let it go for a little while once we were pulling away, and now I'm having to think about it again. Is like, what if the Phillies do catch up? Then we need to like, as a like a some security, be in contention with for the wild card as well.
Yeah.
Which I really think if we get in a wild card game, we lose.
Yeah, I don't think that's a game we'd win.
And especially against the Dodgers, at the Dodgers, we would definitely lose that game. Which that's not.
At least I'll be able to go to it. That could be cool.
To watch us lose.
Just kind of side note. I've been to, I think, 6 baseball games this summer, and the team I wanted to win has lost all of them. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm 0-6 on baseball games this summer. And of course, like I think I went to like 2 or 3 Dodgers games this summer before the Braves ones, and the Dodgers lost all of them. And then I go to the Braves Dodgers game, and then of course we lose. So maybe I should just stop going.
Yeah, I think you need to stop being interested in baseball.
Stop watching. Don't wear that's another thing. The Acuna jersey. I can't remember the last time I watched a Braves game wearing the Acuna jersey and we won. There have literally been times where we're up like 3 or 4-0, or like up 3 or 4 runs. I put it on and then we immediately start giving up runs and have to take it off. Black magic.
Yeah, Phillies are scaring me right now a little bit.
Yeah.
I did think when I was looking at the schedule, I think going to Miami is not a walk in the park. Especially with how good their pitching is. And
they play well against us too.
They shut the Phillies down, which the Phillies also shut them down until like they had that, I think, game 2 for them. The Phillies were up 2-0. And then Jazz Chisholm had a 2-run home run in the 8th, and then they had a walk-off in the 9th. But yeah, we go look at the Phillies schedule from here on out.
I don't think they play a team above 500 after the Brewers.
Well, yeah, they play us.
I guess.
But it's Colorado at like Philadelphia, so
yeah,
those are kind of. But they do have to play Senzatella and Marquez at the least. And they're facing Ranger Suarez and Matt Moore, so that could be a good matchup for the Rockies. And then they're playing Chicago, who are hot right now for whatever.
I guess they are winning. Yeah.
And then at the Mets, but then Baltimore comes to town, and then Pittsburgh come to downtown for 7 games, and then they end with at Braves at Miami. Oh no, not
favorable.
No, not a fun situation. But again, like if we just win our series, like each of the rest of our series, we have it.
Yeah.
Yep. But Mets, yeah, I'm not super concerned. Other than they got
a tough rest of the season, so that's worth considering.
The Mets do.
Yeah, I think they play a few NL West teams. Let me just double check. But that's the other thing. I think the Mets have just too tough of a stretch. Yeah, they do. They have Yankees, Cardinals, Phillies, Red Sox, Brewers, Marlins, us.
Okay.
So, yeah,
that's not good. We do need them to sweep the Phillies, probably, though. If they could.
Yeah, that's going to be such a situational series, though. Kind of whoever we need to win.
I'd have to imagine to be the Mets needing to win that.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, they don't have a favorable schedule at all. We're in the driver's seat. I think even if we do concede the lead, we will be in wild card contention. And while I do not want to be in the wild card game, I also think the wild card game is fucking stupid. I think it should be a 3-game series, but
Yeah.
that's a conversation for another day.
I mean, the
Yeah.
wild card game for whoever gets into it is it's a worst case, best case scenario.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I sort of like the wild card game. Anything can
I mean,
happen.
it's so exciting and like awesome to watch unless it's
Yeah.
your team.
Yep. Then you're shitting yourself all the
Yeah.
time.
Do you think Trent Grisham likes the wild card game?
Oh yeah, I think he loves the wild card game. I think he wants to go back there for sure. All right. Well, I have got to poop almost immediately. I'm down on a knee right now. I think we've covered enough. Will, do you want to end with anything before I poop myself?
I had something. Oh God.
You're just gonna keep thinking because
No,
the poop is falling out of my butt right now.
no. It's something important.
Oh
It's
yeah,
something
no, it
important.
seems really important. It's on the top of your head.
Yeah.
When,
You know, now that I think about it, I don't think I have anything.
Oh, okay. Oh, now that you okay, all right. Well, next series up, we have the Nationals right now. We're winning 5-1 at the moment. Fried's pitching but I mean, it's only one run.
Yep.
Just gotta keep rolling. Gotta keep winning games. How about we don't lose any more games the rest of the year? I think
How
that'd be
would
pretty
you
good.
so awesome? Let's do it. No
Just
more losses.
any loss that happens, I'm sending hate mail to Brian Snicker. It's like how
How could you do that? How
this
could you
wasn't
do
in the plan.
We clearly said it. Yeah, I don't know. Never gonna lose again.
No, yeah. If we just win all the rest of our games this year, including the postseason, that's the World Series. All right. Well, that's our good sports analytic good commentary. I have got to poop. All right.
All right.
See y'all later.
Bye.